This is Unearthing Eden, a podcast hosted by two witches where we will primarily be discussing all things metaphysical and witchy. Welcome to our garden. So we're going to be talking about the elements today. We're not really going to get into the spirit element, but we did want to share just the main four with you guys and how we personally connect to them, and maybe it's something that can resonate with you. So the first element that I want to talk about is fire. The alchemical symbol for fire is just an upright triangle. The colors that's associated with it would be red, vermilion, crimson, oranges. I even will associate yellows with it because of the flames. It's over our drive and our passion. And it can also mean transformation, creation, and destruction. Because fire usually can take out something, but from the ashes, other things can grow. So it's very symbolic in that way for rebirth. The astrological signs that's associated with fire would be Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. These signs can be seen as very passionate and energetic, and sometimes even a little impulsive, or maybe even a lot impulsive, LOL. They can be seen as very loud and maybe know-it-alls, and sometimes even a bit aggressive, but they do often make good leaders and may also do really well with public speaking. I myself am an Aries, and I kind of pride myself in leadership skills, but at the same time, I know that not everybody responds well to my energy. But I can be very passionate about things, but then I get very loud about the things that I'm really into. So it can be seen as a little intimidating to some people. And then I'm going to give it to Sarah to share the next element.
So the next element that we're going to get into is Earth. The alchemical symbol for Earth is an upside down triangle with a line bisecting through the bottom of the triangle. It gives the solid material world Earth is oh my god, no, hold on. I'm not even going to say that anymore. Never mind. It is the grounding element of stability. The colors that are associated with Earth is going to be browns, greens, beiges, anything that you can see out in nature, in the forest, in the woods. That's going to be a color that's associated with an Earth sign. Astrological signs that are under the Earth symbol would be a Taurus, Virgo, and a Capricorn. These people are going to be very stable. They're going to be 2 feet in reality. They're going to be giving you a lot of reason to what you're trying to do. They will always have that sturdy standing and the ability to back what you say and what's needed to be done. They are extremely reliable and extremely practical. So if you need something said to you and you don't want it sugar-coated, you're best going to an Earth sign. Now, as a Capricorn myself, I like to pride myself on being the reliable friend with the stability, with the ability to help and anything along those lines. But it also helps whenever I need to make a decision in life, especially with my husband being an Aquarius. He tests my limits every day, but I love him for that. The planet that will go along with an Earth sign will be Mercury. And Mercury is the planet of communication, travel, and technology. It is the messenger connecting the material world to the spiritual world. I'm going to send it back to you for the next element.
So the other element that I decided on was water, which is represented by an upside down triangle. The colors associated with water would be blue, white, and gray. And I also use sage green or like lighter greens to associate with water. It's over our intuition, emotions, and our dreams. The astrology signs that's associated with water would be Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. And one of the planets that's ruled over by water is Neptune. So a lot of people in those signs can be seen as very emotionally in-depth. Their intuition is usually very strong. They have a good connection with their feelings. Hold on, I don't like how I worded that. A lot of people who are associated with these signs have really good intuition. They have a very strong connection with their feelings. They tend to be really good listeners, but some people may see them as emotional. They can often adapt to new situations pretty easily, and they're really good with making emotional and empathetic connections with others.
And then the last element that we're going to go over is air. The alchemical symbol for air is a right side up triangle with a line bisecting the top. It stands for the mind, the soul, and the breath of life. The astrological signs that are associated with air are going to be a Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Anybody that's going to be any of those signs are very analytical in nature. There's always a why behind what they do or what they're asking. They can be seen as intellectual, social, communicative, and it seems like they breeze through life. Whenever we think air, the colors that come to mind would be yellow, white, and a very light blue or like a very pastel blue. The planet that is aligned with an air sign is Saturn. Saturn represents ideas, communication, intellect, and intellectual curiosity. And again, very communicative in nature.
We're gonna get into like the signs and the different perspectives that people put on them. But
Catch
that's
me
for a
with
future episode.
That's my
I don't
favorite.
rely on that.
I rely on
specifically.
that.
I know you do.
I love the horoscope. Aren't you dating a water sign?
I consider him a Libra. He's a cusp. Okay, hear me out. He's a cusp.
Identifies as a Libra.
He's a cusp. Okay, so he has Libra vibes, man. I'm telling you, like he was meant to be born a day early. Like if he was born like 3 hours earlier, he would be a freaking Libra. And he's my sister sign. Okay,
So my elemental up, your elemental power is green. Sorry.
wait, where did you get that from?
I think it's the Lego movie or something.
Oh, I'm blocking you.
That's also where we get Lloyd.
I don't know what you're talking about. Next.
Lloyd. I named you. You ruined my life. It wasn't even there. Anyways.
You know,
No. Anyways. So I'm married to an Aquarius, like I said, but my sister is a Libra. And when I tell you the amount of arguments we would get into when we were younger, we had to share a room. So there was yelling, screaming, no physical fighting, but there was a lot of, you can't do that, that's mine, or you can't do that, that's mine, back and forth. But now that she lives so far away, it's actually really sad, and I wish she was closer. My stepdad's a Taurus.
oh,
so...
wait a minute. I actually do have an experience with a water sign.
Oh.
Nanny.
Nanny's a water sign?
I forgot she's a Scorpio, guys.
That checks out. Oh my god.
No, that means that I love water signs. She is like the queen of minding her own business. Like from my experience with her, like she is like go with the flow for sure. Like I can totally see that now. I love her. Yeah, she's also really good with plants. So I guess that's why for some reason I think she's like an earth sign low-key. But
She
no, I
probably
can
has
definitely
a lot
see
of-
her as water.
She probably has a lot of earth in her chart.
I actually need to check that now that I'm thinking. She's probably going to be like, what kind of witchcraft is this?
She could
Did I
look
tell
at
you, when I was a little kid, one time there was a storm and the power went out and I had this little toy and it was a bug, like toy, like it was a stuffed animal.
Yeah.
And I brought it to her and I was like, we have to sacrifice this bug so the power comes back on. And she literally sat there with me and like chanted over it with me, and then the power came back on and she was like, it worked.
So she's been in support of this since you were a kid. Got it.
Either that or she just really is like, she's gonna do whatever she wants. I'm here to love you.
As long as she stays alive.
That's literally all it is. Like, she's the kind of person that's just like, I'm not here to judge you or to like be an enemy.
She's a good Christian where she practices what she preaches and she doesn't judge others.
She actually never preaches either. Like, she never tells you about what she believes or anything. Like, I mean, I know that she's a Christian because she has gone to church and everything, and she does have like her books, which is like following Jesus and stuff like that. And I totally respect that, but she never talks about it.
That's not what I mean by practice what you preach, but okay. Okay. But anyways, no matter what element you are, don't hold that back. Don't let that hold you back from talking with people and making friends with people. Because Mickey's a fire sign, I'm an earth sign. They'll set my entire existence on fire, literally.
Period.
And I'll just be like, all right, well, this is happening. Arguing next to me, and I'll be like, okay. And then I'll hop in when I need to. But I'll tell you right now that they will say everything I need them to say.
I think we play off of each other really well, though, especially for like doing projects together,
Oh,
earth
yeah.
signs and fire signs, because you are very stable and reliable, and I'm the one who's like, okay, ideas, like we need to keep this pushing.
You're the one that's going to say, I'm having a really rough day. I don't know what's going to happen later. And 20 minutes before we're set to either not start or start, you go, I'm ready. And I'm like, all right, got to get my shit together. But the days where I'm like, I can't, I'm like, I can't. And you're like, well, she's not doing anything.
No, and honestly, no, because I understand that, because we do really good with our scheduling.
No, we do. But I have to say, I think it's fun being with somebody of the opposite side of me because he'll either be like my salvation or my ruination. And I think that's really poetic.
So the card I pulled for this episode was the Seven of Pentacles, and some of the upright meanings for this card would be harvest, you're getting results. It could mean you're growing and you're making really good progress. It means keeping your patience and planning ahead. The reversed meanings could be unfinished work. Maybe you're not putting enough effort into whatever task you have. It means that maybe you're not growing like you should. You might be procrastinating those important tasks that you have. You might be impatient or you're not seeing the reward from your work. The Seven of Pentacles mostly relates to effort and harvest. If you're putting in the work, it can signify that it will soon pay off and it will only get better in the future. And it can also reaffirm your long-term goals and vision that you have for the future. The more you give, the more you'll get, basically. And you will see your dreams and goals come to fruition as long as you put in that time and effort. It's not going to be a quick fix or something that's going to come very quickly. It signifies growing into something. So if you've ever gardened or anything like that, you'll know that you can't just plant a seed and then immediately get fruit from it.
Okay. So the crystal that we are going to be talking about today is moonstone. Moonstone can soothe a lot of your instabilities, it can promote calmness, and it'll enhance emotional healing. It can help open your mind to intuition, and it can generate a faster spiritual understanding to any type of process around you. This will also help enhance your psychic abilities, and it's a very big protective stone. It can also deflect negativity, so it's similar to selenite in the fact that it can help cleanse and protect, but it's one of the stones that still has to be cleansed by something else, and it'll only aid with that protection. It'll also be really good if you're looking for a new beginning, to have growth, or have a new discovery, anything along those lines. Fun fact about moonstone is that it's crystallized feldspar, orthoclase, and albite, with a lot of heat and a lot of pressure because it's in the mines. So it comes together and it crystallizes, and that's where we get that white, shimmery, almost moon-looking texture and vibe, which is beautiful to me. Unfortunately, I haven't been called to work with it yet, but if you have, let us know. The sign that it is associated with is Libra. Since Libras are all about the scales and all about balances, moonstone is going to help them lean towards a decision whenever they're trying to make a decision in their day-to-day or in the grand scheme of things, in the bigger picture. If you need to cleanse your moonstone, you can use moonlight water. So you could do salt water, regular water, running water. A lot of people use a regular water and a light little cloth to cleanse it, or you can use sound. I haven't used sound cleansing yet. I don't know if that's something that Mickey has used yet, but if they have, they can definitely share their experiences on it.
Yeah, it actually is a stone that I used to have. I have no idea what happened to it. It's been some years since I've had a moonstone, but they look really interesting. They're really pretty. They look good in rings. I think that was the first one I ever really got it in, was on a ring.
Well, all the crystals look pretty on jewelry.
Yeah, they do, but that one looks really good standalone.
You're so right. It's got that really nice iridescence to it too. Ugh.
Yeah.
Don't even get me started. Okay, so if you did want to go find it, which like I said, we don't recommend going out into the mines, remember that. You'll be able to find it in the US, Sri Lanka, Myanmar, India, Madagascar, and Australia. Again, these are really deep in the mines, so if you are genuinely thinking about going into the mines, please don't. I don't think that's a good idea, and we can't condone that, unfortunately.
Nobody's going into the mines, I swear to God. I swear to God, nobody's gonna sue us because we told them to go into the mines.
I'm not saying to go into the mines, I'm just telling people where they can find these beautiful crystals.
There was literally a whole protest against going into mines. Like, no.
That was it. Thank you for coming to our garden. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy our content. Let us know in the comments how you use the crystal we showcased today, and if you would like us to talk about any in the future. See you next time.